whatever you want, no problem, not an issue. Cool, so we're just talking about, basically how to hold the guitar at first, and let me switch to using our guitar, just so you've got a better visual aid. Thanks. So, for starters, here's your tendency is to, put it in the middle of your lap, and be all like this and stuff. So, what we want to do is get it situated, this thing is for your right leg when you're sitting, and you'll remember the position we were in. You should get, so here's how far it's leaning back against me. Not this much where it would slide out, not straight up and down, but just lean back against myself. Again, I can let go and nothing happens. So though you're not gonna exactly, I'm showing us that there is this position where we don't need to steady it with either of our hands. So it's leaned back, it's touching me like here, at my upper waist thing below my sacrum. So that's how we hold the guitar. And you're definitely not going to need to hold it up here. Other things we talked about are your elbow moving, like when you're down, especially when you're like this should seem like it's way over there and hard to reach. So when it's over here, it's closer. But yeah, your elbow can move, and your whole arm can move. So aside, I'm gonna give you some open chord stuff to do, but the first thing we did is we're gonna just go through this B minor pentatonic. First thing you need, and so other stuff, first string, 6th string, so 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, those are the strings, E, A, D, G, B, E. But knowing the names of the strings is kind of just like a bonus. It doesn't really matter at this point since you're not gonna really be thinking about what note you're playing, but hand movements. Cool, so hey, you need to just take forever to get all 4 fingers positioned on the 6th string so they're ready to do stuff. Here's how my thumb is. It's not like this. It's not like that. It's not like this. It's just boom. There's 2 total thumb positions. There's classical thumb position for I have to do things involving reaching, and then there's the same exact thing, but just with our thumb hooked over the top a little bit. If we had bigger hands, our thumb would be up to here or whatever, but so there you go. So the point is not to create a bunch of distance back here by putting your arm up higher or having your, we want to be out in front of the instrument. And that's why if you can just do the starting position thing at the beginning, it'll make everything a lot easier. And then try to move your entire arm down to the 4th string. So just start with that, and then take your pinky out. Great. So the very first thing we're doing is just going through the notes in this scale. Let's just decide this is the 7th fret, and what we did is the B minor pentatonic. This is the note B, even if you only know one note name. There we go. That's B. And yeah, so when we're on the low strings, meaning these ones, we tend to be playing single note type riffs, so it's okay for us to use our pinky here, and we want to use our pinky there. I saw you doing this a lot. Just, the 6th string, the bass string goes index finger, pinky, and don't pick this up. Then the next 3 strings all go index string. So the things to be mindful of are, and you can work on these on their own, just go like this, section 1, and then move down a little and work on these. And what we're working on, like it says on the page, is not going seesaw, but just, it feels like I'm pushing down 1 finger, I'm pushing down 2 fingers, I'm pushing down 1 finger, I'm pushing down 2 fingers. You can always imagine if you were trying to go like, wait, you wouldn't be moving. Cool, so, and then just get to, let's make a little subsection where you just get to the 3rd string, which is 1, 2, 3 up from the ground going. Just picking down, not, when you have this weird pick up thing, let's just go down with everything at first. Just down onto those strings. So there's subsection 1, you're just getting to there, and really working on just wrestling your hand into position. When we get to the 2 high strings, the same shape that we were making with our pinky, we're going to switch out to reaching with our ring finger, because we're so often bending or pulling off there and things we're not, that's, you see Stevie Ray doing that, and everybody's doing that as opposed to using their pinky. And that seems like, why are they doing that? Their pinky would be more economical. If we were playing major scales, we probably would be using 4-finger technique, but here we do until we get to here, and then we need to be able to do more things than our pinky can. So there are situations where you'll need other fingers, but right now so anyway, so just work on those two high strings as their own little subsection. But before you do it, just be sure you're there, like so that you don't find some totally new hand position to start in for those two notes. So right now, the first stage you're going through with playing this is just taking rhythm out of the picture altogether and just doing it like it's a grocery list, like showing yourself the dance steps so that you can dance the dances. You play the scale and rhythm up and down. Right now we're just going like, I'm showing my hand how to do basic movements. And what I mean is, like, don't turn it into a song. Like right now I'm playing rhythm because I can, but let's say I messed up here. Don't go back to the beginning. Just pick up there and think about it. The whole key is to be consciously focused on what you're doing. And that's why we're not thinking about right hand so much yet, is so you can really focus on your fretting hand. And there's no like shame in being a beginner, you're just starting to learn this. So then right hand wise, every single string, we're just playing two notes, right? So we're going to be going down, up. Think of it as little strums. But either way, not up, 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 definitely. If you're going to go all downs first and then down, every single string doing the same thing. And I can't emphasize enough, just take rhythm out of the picture entirely and just go through it for the first time, going down, up, now. So, and don't come back down the scale yet. Let's just get good at going up it, and then coming back down would be a lot easier. That's something I feel like people don't say enough teaching-wise. So stop in your practice and work on that. It should take an hour, 2 hours, whatever. So now try playing it in rhythm, coming up and down. It can be like this slow or whatever, that's fine. Being sure to use your fingertips. Doing this, like your normal hand position, has your hand all like curled up and stuff like that. We do bar sometimes, but otherwise we want to be using our fingertips so that we're not touching additional strings by accident. So just be sure the most you can make yourself do this, the easier it'll be. Cool. So yeah, just I'm playing in rhythm. Anyway, slow, whatever pace you find yourself doing it. So now we've finished the learn the dance steps part, and you're actually trying to play the scale and rhythm. Cool. So there is what we just worked on now, and like we're saying, like what it says on the page. First we did no rhythm, really slow. Then we tried it in rhythm. Then we added the down up picking, and then thinking about no seesaw the whole way. Cool. So like 7:45 in the video. Started so what, where he's actually going this, but we're just gonna go and there's us hitting more than one string. It seems like he already tried to bring this, and he does this thing where he hammers on there that you'll remember from the lesson. It sounds like, and that's what he does in the cold shot. He goes, but here he goes. So that's me hitting all those three strings and then hammering on my middle finger. If you know an F chord, it's like the top part of that, those three strings. So it's gonna go. Just take forever on that. Start with and having your middle finger ready. Just be sure you're not like, and your whole hand's down there. The whole goal is to have all your fingers ready at all times, which is a lot of stuff built up in your head will be from when you had even less finger strength and you had to go like, oh, my index finger, whereas now you don't. So just keep your hands available to you. Over and over, we have to realize we don't just add new stuff, but start over, even years into playing. So there's our first thing, this, and those are both downs. We're just going down, 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 down. So there's that. And rhythm, not a priority. And that's like major chord. So cool. And so just get really good at that same exact thing. I think that it makes sense to do this a few times and then just work on this on its own. Like the riff starts there. It's way more fun to start at the beginning, but the part you'll actually need to think about is the. So just try that, stop, consciously focused. What did I do wrong? Get good at that part. So now you can go. Maybe at this tempo, like. Cool. So good up to there, take forever, however long it takes, and then the next thing we're doing is what he does in the song, which is he's like, he's just going through notes in the scale. He's like, just like, you know, quarter to 1 and 2, we're at 1 and 2. So that's, you know, and there I wrote pinky okay. We're not using our ring finger because then this shows us when we're down on the low strings we tend to be doing single notey type stuff, whereas up here's where we're doing bends and hammer-ons and slides more often when we're playing pentatonic stuff. So there we are. We've got. Excuse me. Cool. So hey, tablature is not intended for you to sight read from. So I'm now writing on the page, look away. We all have these memories built up of seeing people like looking at the page while they're doing stuff. They're reading music. This just says what stuff happened in what order. You want to be looking at your hands. So I don't mean magically conjure the information from the page, but pretty quickly you're going to know what you're trying to do. So look at your hands, and if you were looking at the page, I'm sure it would be happening purely subconsciously. So that's why I'm doing this big look away thing. Great, so, you know, key concepts are like really work in small sections, finish as you go, set reasonable expectations. So hey, first position, chords, E minor, look it up if you don't know it, G, look it up if you don't know it. There's this Nirvana song about a girl, it goes. So we don't have time to talk about strumming, but I'm using my arm and my wrist, and you know, I'm going between E minor and G. So just work on the shapes first. And the strumming patterns, down, down, up, down, down, up. We're just going to keep it simple like that. Worth noticing that on the up strum, my hand is already left on the way to the next chord, and I'm actually hitting that. Up. Up. Or if you don't want to do this, find any other song that's like 2 easy shapes and work on some basic strumming. Because that's what's first. You can just get up some basic dexterity and, you know, maybe some simpler things that don't have barring in them, like learning a major scale or something, the C major scale down here, for instance. Something that doesn't involve pinky. And just, you know, that's what our pinky's for. I actually need to reach for frets, as opposed to I'm just going to sandwich my hand up and use my pinky. Anyway.